NFC and this year's Super Bowl, and we've got a classic in store between the Seattle Seahawks and the Philadelphia Eagles. This one taken just inside the 10. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
I can't believe they even let you play.
Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's 2nd down.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen? Did not let him get downfield.
Here's Travis Homer, the former Miami Hurricane. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. So trouble already here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 9.
14, got it.
It's caught, Lockett. And he'll only get this to about the 35, well short of the line to gain. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. 3rd down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go and make the tackle right away.
Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. They will run for the first time with Miles Sanders. Gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
Hey, man. Watch the boot.
Now a handoff here to his running back. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage.
And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for an Eagle 1st down. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
And they didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Go. 120. Great 15. Great 15.
Come on, dude. Take 4.
And he'll give it here to his running back. The 20. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A gain of 28 yards there and give him a 1st down. You were telling me this yesterday. That's exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12.
Kill. Hey, forward, Tokyo.
Now they'll throw it. Wentz. Well, that's complete to Sanders. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll make it 3rd and 13.
Man 5-7. Hey, Alpha.
Hey, 1-7. Check Mike 54. Mike 54. I got it.
Shotgun now for Wentz. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Shaquille Griffin knocking it away that time in coverage.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Every possession in the postseason magnified, and look, it's just the opening drive. They didn't get the touchdown they wanted, but at least they got on the board.
They got on the board. They've got their home crowd into it as well. And remember, in the playoffs, the game slows down a little bit, so every point is precious.
At their own 29-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense.
And on the first drive, 3 and out. And I know that these are professional athletes, but I would imagine sometimes you get the nerves at the beginning of a game still, don't you?
Those don't ever go away. And typically, what I've heard from guys and what I remember from playing, if you don't have nerves at the start of a game, it's not going to be a great day for you. You're not really ready to play. So finding a way to harness those nerves, and now that
Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. And it's picked up by the Eagles. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line.
Thank goodness for heaters up here. And thank goodness I don't have to carry the football in this game. It's January. It's cold out there. Trying to clutch the football and absorb the hits, not easily done.
Yeah, we saw a product of the elements right there. Boy, nowhere to go at all on that first down run as they will get to him behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
A loss of a yard brings up 2nd and 11 at the 40-yard line.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. Stepping up, he'll try and run. It's a gain of 13 and a first down for Philadelphia.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it. But it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And some room to maneuver. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. His first carry of their second drive, pretty solid. And, of course, remember back to their first drive, really strong throughout that one.
Not only is he getting good blocking up front, but how about his vision to find the holes? And he's seeing things before they even open and hurtling through them.
2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down.
I think that's the type of run we'll continue to see throughout this game. The snow coming down, I don't expect a lot of big plays to be broken.
The 6-yard line, the line of scrimmage on 2nd and goal. And they give this time to the tailback. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. He can run for it, and he will. And he's not going to get anywhere close to the marker as they'll stop him well short of the yellow line. He'll get a couple of yards on the keeper, but it's going to lead to a 4th down. And this one is right through. And that'll make it 6-0 here in the first. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And this is a unit that, to be frank, doesn't look like they've woken up yet. I mean, a punt and a turnover on their first 2 drives.
And I think the game's starting to take shape a little bit now, and I'm going to take it to the basketball world. When you're having trouble scoring or moving the ball in basketball, what do? Get it to their best player, right? Find a matchup, create it, exploit it, and try and move the football.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey.
This is Homer. Not a whole lot of room to run. Gets it to the 35 after showcasing the great move.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is just going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
You ain't got nothing. Good job right there. Good job right there.
3rd and 2, now Wilson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by MyCareer, and he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line.
Well, it's a cold night, and whether you're a quarterback that wears a glove on his throwing hand or not, that ball is a rock, Brandon. You've got to really drive it through the cold and the wind, or it can take off on you, and that may have been what happened there.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Sunday.
Wentz on the give to Sanders. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Eight yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. It's a 2nd down run with Sanders. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down. On 1st down, Sanders. And he is brought down at the 22 after a gain of 2. And it brings up 2nd down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
14, 82, 14.
Let's go, B, let's go.
Now a play fake. Wentz. And his throw is incomplete. J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down.
Pretty nice coverage there, but a missed opportunity for an interception. Let's face it, a lot of these defenders, they've got it all. Speed, athleticism, hands, a little bit questionable.
The Eagles going to take the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 2nd quarter. A 3rd field goal in the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down.
Watch the safety creep.
Throwing is Wentz. Got his man, it's Arcega-Whiteside. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. A 22-yard touchdown grab. And the Eagles able to push further out in front.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it works very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness, maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature, to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Wilson going to fake the give and keep it himself. He'll find Metcalf. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
Didn't they tell us in our meetings that they needed to account for him on each and every play?
You think? A guy of his caliber? So how does a guy like him get that wide open?
That usually means there's a entire breakdown on what the coverage was. That everyone thought they were doing something, and they were supposed to be doing something else. But bottom line is, no matter what, you have to know where he is and cover him on every play.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
47's the mic, boy. 47. Check, 47. Let's go, D. It's going to be a night.
To throw again is Wilson. He'll let this go for the end zone. And incomplete. He dropped it in the end zone. Earlier in the quarter when the defense was keying on the run, you said offensively they need to open things up, take some shots downfield. Didn't work there, but they did it.
Yeah, I'm not going to change my tune now. I still think it's the right play because when you take those shots downfield, you open the eyes of the defense to what you could do to them, and that may open some things up for you offensively.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Wilson. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. So back-to-back incompletions. 3rd down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything to warrant a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. These playoff games have a tendency to be tight. You have to wonder if that missed field goal could haunt them later.
Yeah, we're always looking for the key plays, right? The ones that we're going to magnify. Usually those happen in the second half or later in the game. This might be the key play of the game, showing up here in the first half.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming. The Eagles on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he got blown up. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. Nothing doing on 2nd and 3rd down after that 9-yard gain on 1st. This is away, but boy, headed straight for the sidelines. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40.
Let's go.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. It hasn't gone particularly well for them, that's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
That sends them 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. 2 minutes remain in the first half of this NFC Championship. A reminder, as we've done all year, we'll send you to Orlando for our EA Sports halftime report. In a bit, the coach is with us per usual as we start to look ahead, Charles, to our potential matchups in this year's Super Bowl.
Break it down, Coach. Break it down.
No gain that time on the completion, and it'll be third down.
Here we go, D.
On third down, Wilson. Open man is Metcalf. He's got it. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. DK Metcalf, 51 yards, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked. But he doesn't get far. They're able to stop him. And after all that, the extra point attempt unsuccessful.
And that one gets blocked. There's simply nothing simple about trying to execute the PAT in some snow.
No, absolutely not. We saw Exhibit A of it right there.
You know, one thing that's going to be happening in the game now, the analytics side is going to get involved about what it takes, what the percentages are in the snow, what it's going to be like in the rain. All those things are going to come into play. You may see people decide to go for 2 more often if you have inclement weather.
They run it here with Edmonds. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he can even get started. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. Now on second and 13. Wentz. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. They'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down.
Makes it third and 4.
Wentz now to throw. Caught by the tight end Ertz. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a fourth down. And he will have the first down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as it comes with 22 seconds to go here in half number 1.
First and 10 at the 43-yard line.
The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. Working from the gun. Wentz throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. The Eagles will take their third and final timeout as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. 4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up second and 6. To throw is Wentz. And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Nigel Bradham. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. So we've reached halftime. Who will represent the NFC in the Super Bowl? 2 more quarters to go. As we'll get you down the coast to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Okay, Coach. Appreciate it. A 1-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. The Hallis Trophy still hangs in the balance as the second half now underway in the NFC Championship game. This one taken just inside the 10. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
So now they'll come up on second and 10, once again from the 28. And he comes back with one complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Now we're going to get a timeout here as it looks like there's a Seahawk injured on the play. We'll check on his status when we get back. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
What you got, Heavy? What you got, Heavy? Give me some. Give me some.
Here's Sanders. And able to push forward for right around 3 yards down to the 42.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll give it here to his running back. He's got a first down or more inside the 30. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great effort there. 42 yards. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. Point after here coming up. And the lead is up to 14. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And their halftime hole now even deeper, and they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox, the defensive tackle, getting in there for a loss of 5. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett, 64 yards, as his guys are back within a single score. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You've got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
This will be fielded at the 8. And he'll be out of bounds across the 25.
Get ready, get ready, get ready.
At their own 26-yard line.
Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
Took just one play to move all the way to the 44 as they try again on first down.
Tight dog, tight dog, tight dog.
And they give this time to the tailback. Pushing forward for 3 up to the 48.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
At their 48-yard line.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Here we go. 280.
54 Mike. That's right, baby. They don't want it.
He's not going to get there. That won't even be close. It was blown up in the backfield. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third.
No surprise there. Jadeveon Clowney with a tackle for loss. We all know how he became one of the most famous players in football, though, don't we remember?
Oh, that one play.
Yeah, that one big-time play. It was on highlights everywhere. They want to see more of that here in the NFL.
Here's Jordan Berry now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. And he gets this away, and look at this. This is a good one.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Last time they were out here, they had the benefit of good field position, led to a touchdown. This time, they're going to have to work for it.
They are, but with that last drive that culminated in a touchdown, I think they carry that confidence into this one. Doesn't matter where you start with the football now, they have to feel great about their opportunity.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Going on the ground with Homer. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Chalk that up as a 4-yard loss. And now it's 3rd down.
I'm getting the sense that Fletcher Cox is making offensive linemen want to take the week off when they have to play against him.
It's a regular routine for him, isn't it?
It really is. That play there, that's him all day long. Good luck trying to block him and keep him from disrupting your offense.
Hey, 0-0-0. Alert.
3rd and long. It's Wilson. And that will be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning. Hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over.
Here we go. 20! Check 53, Mike. Watch the screen.
On 1st and 10, here's Wentz. And he's going to go down. They sack him back at the 42. Nigel Bradham, his 2nd sack of the night. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Throwing now is Wentz. Ertz has it left side. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Let's just break this down and make it pretty simple. Key to the drag route, letting the play develop, finding the hole in the defense, and giving your athlete, yes, athlete, a chance to make something happen once he has the ball in his hands.
It'll be a nickel look here for the Seahawks on 3rd down. From the gun, it's Wentz. This is Ertz on the pitch and catch. They do get 9, but it leads to 4th down.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. So now the field goal unit trots out there for the 3rd time tonight. This officially a 55-yard attempt. And that one's not going to get there. Not enough juice. An ambitious effort, but it's well short. And this Score will stay right where it is. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, for the game this close, you got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 12.
At the 43-yard line.
You ready?
Check Mike 54. Mike 54.
Here we go.
From the gun, it's Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Fletcher Cox able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction because the defense is pushing them back.
Former defensive guy. Now, as a quarterback 3rd and long, you really got to rally the troops here, don't you?
Yeah, you're doing a big way, and what else do you have to look out for? More pressure coming at you because it seems to be working pretty well.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Had to pass there, 3rd and long on your own side of the field. Just couldn't come up with anything.
That's why teams always talk about having to win the early downs, meaning you've got to gain yardage and set yourself up for 3rd and short, because when it's 3rd and long, the odds go down significantly trying to pick up the 1st down, even throwing the football.
A great return there of 22 yards. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
1 quarter remains until the NFC crowns its champion. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports.
Here we go. Waiting.
They'll run on 1st down. It's Sanders. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it. And the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
On 2nd and 9, Wentz, Ertz over the middle. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The Eagles on 3rd down. It's been a problem. Just 1 for 7 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A big play there. 46 yards. And the Eagles able to push further out in front. You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. And the lead now up to 14. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This one taken just inside the 10. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
so well. Go to something else.
And maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
Check, 47. Hey, Bill, let's go.
From the 41, Wilson. He's got his man here as Gary Jennings Jr. His first catch in this NFC Championship game, and it's a first down. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
They'll throw on first down with Wilson. It's caught by Jennings. And he'll just get back to the line of scrimmage, if that. And with a flag on the field. And that one looks to be in the area where someone was held. They'll wind up losing a full 10 yards on the play. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the... It's caught inside the 25. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. It's a gain of 35. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. From the shotgun, Wilson. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's 2nd down. From the 21, it's 2nd and 10. Here's Wilson to throw again. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. David Moore there to make the grab as his guys are back within a single score. Extra point up and through by Myers. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Already at the line, this Philly offense set to go. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a 1-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
The real with the 4-minute offense is just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now a carry for Sanders. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. While the training staff works on him, we'll step aside and be right back.
Here we go. Hey, stand. Waiting. Shift. Greystone, travel. This line 7.
53 to Mike. 53. Check 53.
Hey, zoom.
Here we go.
Play action. Now Wentz. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Shaquem Griffin, he was relentless there as he hits home for the sack.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
Clock continuing to run. They'll probably wind this all the way before snapping it on 2nd down.
74. Hey, wahoo! Recon, 132 fighter.
On 2nd down, this is Edmonds. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. Caught the defense off guard there a bit on 2nd and long, but now you still have to deal with 3rd and long.
Yeah, you do, but you feel pretty good about the last play, don't you? And maybe it gives you a little bit of confidence dialing up the next one, that maybe your team will believe in it when you send it in.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
Lucky.
Here, shift. Go. Let's go.
Now Wentz. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. 3 touchdown passes now for Carson Wentz. And the Eagles able to push further out in front.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. This one taken just inside the 10. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
At their own 26-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they're hoping to redo their efforts of the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Wilson. It's caught. Lockett. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. First down, Seattle, 16 yards the gain there. Throwing now, Wilson on first down. And that'll wind up incomplete. Try to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Mike 56. Yo. 56 to Mike.
Wilson now. Throwing again. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. And this is good for a first down, his 2nd grab of this NFC Championship bout. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
56 to Mike. 56 is the Mike.
Wilson will throw again. And an alley to run. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. 23 yards on the tuck and run. Late in the game, defense trying to avoid a big play. He's able to work out of the passing game, turn it into a run, pick up the first, and stop the clock as well.
And you know in this situation, everything is sped up. The intensity, the thinking, everyone's movement. But for a quarterback, he has to continue to be what we call a flatliner. Leveling everything.
Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. Now Wilson on first down. Nowhere to turn this time, and he goes down. Sacked back at the 29. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Now Wilson, and his throw's going to be incomplete. David Moore, the intended target, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
But sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Wilson. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Marcus May with a pick. And he'll take this across midfield and inside the 45.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
Mike, 53. 53. Mike. Let's go, dude. Check. 53's Mike.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour.
Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
So when you have good field position to start a drive and you give up back-to-back sacks, that can be demoralizing for a team.
Throwing is Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. They get 13, but it's not nearly enough. And it'll be 4th down. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out.
47's the Mike. 47's the Mike.
They're going on 4th down. It's Wilson. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that may do it for this NFC title game.
53's the Mike. Bring it to you.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And he finds his tight end. It's Ertz. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. A very nice pickup of 33 yards. Really a great season. Not a whole lot to hang their head about.
Not at all. And, you know, the winning side, they're so ecstatic. They're going to the Super Bowl. But for the guys that we're talking about, they've got to figure out how it's going to go next year. Are they going to be motivated by this loss? Or will this loss linger and really make them, make it tough for them to come out of the gate strong next year? Only time will tell. But they've got to find a way to use this loss and use it as motivation.
And that does it for the conference championship.